Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this video is the start of our new series, Cisco Switch Upgrade Project, where I will be showing you the step-by-step process on how we do projects like switch refresh. And since we are doing another project this year, we are going to be replacing the Cisco 3850 switches that we currently have. I'm going to show you the entire process from the very beginning, including the planning phase. So this video today is about the planning phase. So if you're interested in this video, please keep on watching, and without further ado, let's get started. So if you're new to the field, especially in IT and networking, just keep in mind that switch projects are not just switch configuration. You're not just going to enter commands on new switches. It takes a lot of steps, and there's so many factors to consider first before we get to switch configuration. That's why we have the planning phase first. So for the planning phase, the first step is to define the scope of the upgrade. There are so many factors to consider before even buying a switch. You would want to know how many switches are going to be replaced, if you are adding new switches, what kind of model are you going to purchase, and why are you purchasing that model. Okay, so going back to our scope of the project, when we say scope, it defines the boundaries and what the project wants to achieve. So in our case, our scope of the project is to replace the legacy Cisco 3850 switches with a newer model and also accommodate scalability for future proofing. Okay, so if you're doing a project like this upgrade or replacement, especially hardware replacement, one very important thing to consider is the scalability planning as well. So if you're doing an upgrade like this, especially hardware upgrade, you shouldn't just think of replacing the existing hardware. You should also think of future proofing and the long-term impact for your environment. So you also need to prepare for more network users just in case there's more devices that will be plugged into the new switches or the network. Also think of a model that can keep up with the latest technology like Wi-Fi 6 and additional VLAN segmentation. So also think of the future and the growth of your company and environment, because as time passes, there's more devices that is connecting to our network. There's always going to be a new technology. So also keep that in mind when you're planning to purchase a newer hardware model. Okay, so in this section of the video, I'm going to give you an overview of our legacy or our existing switches that are still in production, and also what we have decided to replace it with, and an overview of the newer switch, and also the comparison on why we are upgrading from the legacy to the newer model. Okay, so let's get started with the Cisco 3850. So these switches are great for its time. It can support for up to 10 gig of uplink speed and also stackable for up to, I think, 9 switches. But since it's an older model, and Cisco announced that the end of support for the copper models are in October of this year, and for the fiber models in 2027, they need to be replaced soon. And also another main reason why we are doing this hardware upgrade, not just because of the end of support, is because we are running out of switch ports on the 3850s, and instead of just adding new 3850s or another brand, we are just replacing all of them so they will be up to date with the newest model. And the Cisco 3850 is also lacking some advanced features that the newer models have. So the 3850s are going to be replaced by the 9300s, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the advanced features that it has and why we chose to upgrade to this model. So the Cisco 9300 switches are newer compared to the 3850s, and they have more power and they provide better performance compared to the 3850s. So the first main feature is that it supports more uplink speed. So when we say uplink speed, it means how fast the switch can connect to other switches or the routers. So the higher the uplink speed, the faster the data transfer is for the switch. So the 3850s just supports up to 10 gig of the uplink speed, but for the 9300s, they have more speed. It can support 1 gig, 10, 25, 40, and even 100 gig. The 9300s also has more maximum bandwidth compared to the 3850s. So when we say maximum bandwidth for switches, it's the total amount of data the switch can handle at once. So that's how much traffic the switch can push through all of the ports at the same time. So the switch will have a better performance even if there are so many active devices trying to push traffic all at the same time. So for the 3850, the max bandwidth it can support is 480 gig, and for the 9300 it's about 1 terabyte. So here's a quick comparison of the 3580 and the 9300 switches. The 9300 has more uplink speed, maximum bandwidth, and switching capacity. And it also has the SDA feature while the 3580 doesn't have it. We also reviewed the existing 3850 config and compared them to what's supported on the 9300, especially with the iOS XE differences. The 9300 series uses a newer version of iOS XE that's a Unified Access Data Plane 2.0, while the 3850's hardware limitations prevent full SD access functionality. But many of the core commands and configurations will be similar between the 3850 and 9300, especially basic networking configurations like IP addressing, VLANs, and routing. So the reasons why we're upgrading from the 3850 to 9300 is that 9300 has faster connections to the rest of the network. There can be more devices using the network at the same time. It can handle heavy traffic without slowing down. And it has more future-proofing for high-speed environments like enterprise networks because it has more advanced features. And also another very important reason is that the 9300 series does not have an official EOS or EOL date for the hardware itself. It's likely the 9300 series will continue to be supported for years to come as new models are still being released. So another part of the planning phase is site survey and inventory. So we performed a full site survey and inventory validation. We checked rack space, power requirements, uplink compatibility, and made sure the new 9300s would physically fit and support the same interfaces. Okay, so that's it for the planning phase. In the next video, we are gonna do inventory and unboxing of what we have ordered, and also some preparation on how we execute this entire project. So please stay tuned if you want to watch more of the Switch project series. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.